yeah, so we want to examine that. And our expectations are that they maybe don't even know what hybrid teaching means. So do they have a synchronous and an asynchronous phase, like the students that are present in the classroom? They have the synchronous situation where they get material and we work together in a group. And the group at home to get different tasks and can hand it in whenever they have time to. So this would be an asynchronous way of teaching. Or do the teachers have their group presented in class and they try to add the group at home via Zoom or Teams or a video conference tool so that everyone is present in at the same time in class and that the groups work together, no matter if they're at home or if they are present in the classroom, because this would also be a form of hybrid teaching. And this is something not many teachers are used to. I heard from some mathematics teachers who do that they add the students at home via Zoom. But many just use a variety of tasks, and the group that is presented get a task for the distance learning phase the week afterwards. Also, it would be interesting if they use blended learning and flipped classroom techniques, if they used them before Corona and COVID, or if they now adapted the learning material. So our expectation, our assumption is that they did not had many flipped classroom material beforehand. And now they have, so the question is also, will they keep that in the future as well? So our plan is, at the moment, we're doing some literature review, but honestly, we cannot find that much about hybrid teaching. So that will be interesting if we find more about that, especially in Austria. This is not well researched. And at the moment, we're also planning a questionnaire that we can hand out to academic secondary schools in Upper Austria. Then again, we assume that teachers are still overwhelmed with the digitalization, and we plan to improve the teacher training and to give them help, support not only to create new material, but also to have a pedagogical foundation for the learning material that they create. And I want to accompany that scientifically. And then we also have to think of what will we do in the future with what we find and how to go on next. So that's the basic plan that we have. But as we both are completely beginners, we would be glad if you have thoughts and advice for us on some aspects, or if we have forgot about something. So thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. So does anyone have any questions for Lisa?
I have a question or a thought. So in the case of some of my friends are secondary teachers, and now in Spain, in the secondary at higher school, we don't have an hybrid teaching, but last year we had an hybrid teaching, and I know that they try always to create new materials for their students, videos, problems, I don't know. However, I think that it will be more direct if they were able to assess or to identify good existing materials.
Mm-hmm.
In this line, nowadays there is some research about how to identify good videos or on YouTube or set guidelines for that teachers. I think that it will be also it is connected to the hybrid teaching, and I think that analysis of videos or something like that could be very interesting for teachers, and I think that is in line also with your research.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. I think there's actually a lack of research here. Like, how do I identify good material? Because this means that I, as a teacher, have the knowledge, the pedagogical knowledge behind that, right? To see something, and then I see, oh yeah, with that task I can foster. For example, I'm an English teacher, then I can foster speaking skills, because they have to use, I don't know, signal and they record their discussion or something like this. So I can use signal for speaking activities, but many do not see that or wouldn't think of that.
Yeah.
Questions, Lisa?
I have a thought about the presentation. Hi, I'm Sandra, and I'm a PhD from Italy. And I want to say that something interesting could be to think about what kind of practice are really hybrid and not simply a split between the present, the teaching in presence and the teaching with virtual environment with the other part of the class. And it could be something that is really new and could be interesting, I think. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Any other questions or thoughts maybe about all the talks? So we still have time, I think, 5 minutes or so.
I have a question, Sharon.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, Lisa, actually I have conducted some research in e-learning, but in my country, I think it is different with Austria. The main problem of e-learning is the knowledge of the teacher. So the student perspective about the e-learning is the teacher can develop the suitable media for a digital learning. Have you ever find this problem in Austria?
That the teachers have problem with the digital tools. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, yes. I mean, we have quite a lot of teachers who are interested in new media and new technologies, and they try to use it in the classroom. But many, and I think the majority, and this is not only true for the older ones, also very young teachers are sometimes skeptical of the digital tools. Also, in Austria, many are skeptical of media in general, so they want to ban the smartphone from schools, and this leads to this avoidance of all new technology in the classroom. Also, the teachers have problems because of that, because they do not use the tools. Yeah. But now they have to, so I see it as an opportunity that COVID brought us, because they had to. And some actually really saw, so I know that from talking to others. I'm a teacher as well, so for my colleagues, I know that many really saw some opportunities in the new things they experienced in the last month. But before that, they were really skeptical.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa.
It's great, Lisa. I think it's a very timely study because all the teachers suffer the same thing all over the world now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anything else? Was anyone just have anything to add?
Sorry, I only want to thank you for all. I have to go, and then thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. It was nice having you.
Bye.
Oliver, is this a paper or something?
Yes, I just wanted to add, Lisa, if you know the paper from Stefanie Schallert about ICM and the 5E inquiry model, could be interesting for you. I think it's mostly the discussion about what is meant hybrid. And at the moment, I'm working at the media pedagogy department of the university for education in Lower Austria. And we have all the same problems, so that if you just use electricity, everything is media pedagogy. So there are some thoughts that I have at the first hand. So one thing is please identify an added value when you transition from classical paper-based and frontal teaching to media and the use of technology. So if the concept of the teaching is not good, then if you electrify it, it will not get better.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the things. And I think if you add electricity and say it's media pedagogy, most of the teachers are overwhelmed with all of the possibilities at the moment, and they try to use Teams, Zoom, and whatever, and use a pen and use a whiteboard electronically and everything. So maybe it could be worth, Lisa, to just sum it up on 2 pages and have a decision map to what technology could be helpful for the teacher in this and that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. So this would be a tool for the teachers if they are in trouble. They look up on the map.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to do this and that, and I
Mm-hmm.
have a size of 20 students, or I have a size of 50 students, depending on what the situation is, and I have that and that time. Maybe this could be an interesting outcome to hand out to teachers. And then someone could list, first of all, do this and that. And if it's the first time you do it, that's enough. Don't go further. And if you do it the second, the third, and so on time, then you can add more and more tools.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's also maybe a name you know in Germany, Nele Hirsch.
Mm-hmm.
She is very active in electronic teaching.
Okay.
She calls herself as a consultant Bildungslabor.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it very interesting what you do, by the way.
Thank you. So the first name was Stefanie Schallert.
Yeah, the first one in the chat is the one from Steffi Schallert, which is one of our colleagues at the JKU in Linz, which I'm also part of. Sorry, I didn't put it on my name because I have to switch so many Zoom accounts. Yeah, and the second, Nele Hirsch Bildungslabor. If someone of you wants to join, I have it somewhere here. I have it in my browser and I will paste one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's it from me.
Thank you, Oliver. Okay, so maybe we wait until Oliver pastes it in the chat. Then if anyone has anything to add. And then we can go to the main room. Yep, it's here.
One additional thing which is not working right now. I just wanted to, here. It's a book that's called More Than Zero and One, and it's from Beat Döbeli-Honigge. It's unfortunately only in German. He's a Swiss professor and researcher in one of the universities for education, like I'm in Austria. And yeah, it's more, which is also very, very good. But maybe Google or Bing will help you to translate if you want to follow that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver, for the insights. So, does anyone have anything to add, or we can move to the main room? Should we move? I think we're about time. So, thank you all for your presentations and your feedbacks. And now we can switch to the main room. Okay, see you there. Bye.
Cool. So I hope you had